Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be delineating a chart for a particular event that has taken place in the native's life. This native has seen many devastating events in her life within a very short span of time. This chart was posted by one of my friends in the astrological study groups. Since this chart concerns a private citizen, I will not be revealing the birth details. However, this chart is of a female and the event took place in the month of May in 2020. I will not be revealing what exactly it is at the beginning of the video. Rather, I will walk you through the steps that I adopted in order to arrive at the conclusion. I want you as a viewer to see if it makes any sense to you. If it does not, please come forward and post it as a comment. It will be a mutual learning for both of us. The one thing with the chart analysis is that when we are analyzing a past event, we can find one or the other way to justify it, either through dashas or the lordships of the houses, or through placements of those planets in certain nakshatras. We can somehow derive it, but when we have to make a future prediction, most of these things do not make any sense. So we have to it is necessary for us to make meaningful conclusions out of the planetary placements in the chart, rather than doing some roundabout justifications of the events that have taken place. The tools that I'll be using, the dashas in particular, are nakshatra dasha. One of the nakshatra dashas, it may not be Vimshottari dasha itself, but some other dasha that is applicable for this chart, and Narayana dasha. The reason that I'm focusing on Narayana dasha too much these days is that I have learned this newly, and it is very exciting to apply Narayana dasha, and the results are amazing. So I thought I will make use of what I have learned recently as well. And two other things that I'll be using is Tithi Pravesh and Tajaka chart. May not be Tajaka this time, just one annual chart. I want to keep this video short, so I'll just make use of one annual chart, that is Tithi Pravesh chart. The event took place in May 2020. Going to the Rashi chart, Lagna is in Taurus. The native was running Rahu and Moon. Rahu is the co-lord of the 10th house, and Moon is the lord of the 3rd house, posited in 8th house from Lagna, which is Maranakaraka Sthana for Moon. So this period in particular, Moon Pratyantara Dasha, may not have been favorable for the native because of two things. One is the Antardasha Lord and Pratyantara Dasha Lord, Rahu and Moon, are not friends. They are enemies. Moon is eclipsed by Rahu, and the second reason is that Moon is in Maranakaraka Sthana in the 8th house. So can we say that just by looking at Vimshottari Dasha and the lordships of Rahu and Moon, we can only come to one conclusion, that is, this would not have been a favorable time for the native. Now let us narrow down the reasons and see if we can make more conclusions from the data that we have. I will go to Rashi Dasha of D1. Lagna is in Taurus and the Dasha starts with Scorpio. So Narayana Dasha is a progression of 7th house in this case. I will link the class which explains how to analyze Narayana Dasha. I will not be explaining that in this video, but I will just walk you through how I analyzed this chart using Narayana Dasha. The period was Libra, and then it was Cancer. Libra is the 6th house in the natal chart, and the progressed Lagna will be Aries. And what is Aries in natal chart? Aries is the 12th house. What does 12th house stand for? It can mean many things: loss, imprisonment, displacement from motherland, hospitalization, moksha. So these are some of the important things that 12th house shows. And Libra Mahadasha, which ran from December 2010 to December 2022, would have given any or many of these results that I just listed. And the event that I said, it took place particularly in the Cancer Antardasha, which is the 3rd house in the natal chart, and it has an exalted retrograde Jupiter. Exalted retrograde planet is akin to being debilitated. Now, taking Aries as the progressed Lagna, let us see how various planets are placed. Lagna Lord and 8th Lord Mars is strongly posited in the 8th house of Scorpio, along with the 3rd Lord and the 6th Lord Mercury and the 5th Lord Sun. All these lordships I am judging based on Aries as progressed Lagna and not Taurus. So Lagna is with 6th Lord. Lagna is with 6th Lord. So can we say that something related to disease, something related to hospitalization might have happened during this period? This is something that we can conclude just based on progressed Lagna analysis of the natal chart. Going to the Dasha Pravesha Chakra of Libra. Lagna is in Capricorn. Lagna Lord Saturn 7, 8, 9 is in the 9th house Virgo. Cancer is the 7th house, and its Lord Moon is with Venus, who is the 5th and the 7, 8, 9, 10, 10th Lord, 5th and the 10th Lord. This does not show anything bad, but it does indicate that something related to spouse might have happened, because Cancer is the 7th house in the Dasha Pravesha Chakra. Let us quickly take a look at the chart and see if there are any other influences on the 7th house or the 7th Lord. Mars 8, 9, 10, 11. Mars Badaka is with the 6th. No. Cancer. There are Sun 7, 8. The only influence that I see is that the 8th Lord Sun has Rashi aspect on the 7th house. And is there any Parivartana? No. So, since the Dasha sign is Cancer and there is a Rashi aspect of 8th Lord Sun on it, we can say that something sudden, something unexpected, something unfavorable might have happened to the spouse. And moreover, this is a chart of a female, and let us see the Karaka. Since we made a conclusion that this might be something with respect to spouse, the Karaka for spouse in a female chart is Jupiter, and Jupiter is placed in the 3rd house from the Dasha Pravesha Lagna, which is the Marana Karaka Sthana. So the Karaka is weak here, and the 7th and the matter concerns the 7th house. For these reasons, particularly for these reasons only, let us look at the Navamsha chart now and see if we can narrow down the results. In the Navamsha chart, the best applicable dasha is a conditional dasha by name Chaturashiti Samadasha. There are two conditions that have to be satisfied in a chart for us to apply this dasha. The one condition is Saturn, the controlling planet, has to be strong, and the 10th Lord has to be in the 10th house. Here Saturn is strong because of exaltation and also because of the Parivartana with Venus, and because of this Parivartana, Saturn being here is akin to Venus, which is the 10th Lord, being in his own house. So now let us switch the Nakshatra Dasha to Chaturashiti Samadasha, and in options we go to D9. And this is the compressed Chaturashiti Samadasha of Navamsha. Let us go to the period. May 2020. Since I know it is May before May 15th, yeah, it is Mercury, Moon, Mars. Let me quickly see if this is right by resetting it. Okay, no, that was wrong. Whenever, one thing about this software, I do not know if it is a glitch. Whenever we use Narayana Dasha, we have to reset the dashas in the Nakshatra Dasha. That is why I did this quick reset. This is something I discovered during the course of using this software. Now going back, it is not Mercury, Moon, it is Saturn, Sun, and it is Jupiter. So Saturn, Sun, Jupiter period was running during this time. Since the event, we derived that the event is with respect to spouse, we see the spouse in Navamsha chart. The spouse is seen from 7th house from Lagna. So now this is the spouse's Lagna, Cancer. And what is Saturn? Saturn's lordship is 7th and 8th lord from Cancer Lagna, who is exalted. So 7th and 8th, not such a, it is not a functional benefic, it is a malefic, and something related to 8th house. 8 connection is coming up everywhere. So something sudden, something unfavorable might have happened. Sun, next is Antardasha is Sun. What is Sun? Sun is the second lord who is posited in the 6th house. Second lord in the 6th house. Second lord going to 6th house means something related to second house has gone to the house of Roga, Ripu, Runa. Can we say it might have been some disease related to the body part indicated by second house, maybe face, maybe teeth, maybe mouth. That could be one indication. Why I say it is disease and not Ripu and Runa is because in the very beginning of the analysis, we saw that there is a 12th house connection in the Narayana Dasha. So I took that link and arrived at a conclusion that it might be a disease. One more thing that we have to be aware of while doing any analysis is desha-kala-patra. When we have a person or a client sitting in front of us, we should be very much aware of the age, the kind of circumstance he is in, and the place he is in. Now, if this person would have come to me a few years before the event, and I say that he is going to run, she is going to run the Saturn, Sun, Jupiter period, and I know that something related to spouse is going to happen, and I see that second lord is going to 6th house, that is when I ask questions. 6th house is Roga, Ripu, Runa. So is he expecting anything with respect to enemies, or is there any debt that he is going to take or he is expected to take, or how is his health? These are the questions that I will have to ask, because these houses have so many meanings. In order to narrow down the results to what they actually mean, we have to be very much aware of the desha, kala and patra. Moving on, it is Saturn and Sun, and then Jupiter. What is Jupiter? We're taking Cancer as Lagna. Jupiter is the 6th lord. So look at the connection. Saturn 8th lord, Sun second lord in the 6th house, and Jupiter is the 6th lord. There is such a clear indication that this has to be a disease with respect to an upper body part. Now let us see the have I missed anything? No. Now let us see the Tithi Pravesh chart of 2019, because May 2020 falls in the annual year starting from November 29, 2019. How are the indications? Hora Lord Saturn is not so well placed because he is with enemy Sun. and Sun and Mars are enemies. He is in an inimical sign and he is with an enemy. So he is not comfortable enough to bless things on the native. So this might not be a very good year. Now spouse is seen from 7th house, as I mentioned, in Navamsha. So spouse's Lagna becomes this Pisces here, and the Lagna Lord Jupiter is in 3rd house from Lagna, which is Maranakaraka Sthana again. So spouse's Lagna is weak. Now let us see if there is any indication about the disease by looking at the 6th house from spouse's Lagna. 6th house from spouse's Lagna is afflicted by the nodes Rahu and Ketu. And the 6th lord is not strong because he is with an enemy Saturn. Let us look at the degree of conjunction. All divisional longitudes D9, Saturn 13 and Sun 0. Okay. We have to look at the Bhava chart. Saturn and Sun are far away, so that's not an affliction, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. I apologize for that error, but still the Lagna Lord Jupiter going to 3rd house is a bad indication for the spouse, and the 6th house being afflicted by nodes is a bad indication. Now how is his 2nd house? Mars is 2nd house. Why am I looking at 2nd house? Because we saw from the natal chart that the 2nd lord has gone to 6th house. So I am looking at the 2nd house here. 2nd house Mars is exalted. He is strong and he has gone to the 11th house of Kings, and the Badhaka Lord Mercury. Badhaka Lord, why Badhaka Lord is Mercury here? Because spouse's Lagna is a dual sign. So Badhaka Lord Mercury is afflicting the spouse's Lagna. So there is certainly some tension, something that might not be expected, that might happen during that period because of the 8th house connection, and some disease related to face, something sudden, something bad that might happen during this period. Let us see the 8th house, Venus. How is Venus placed? Venus is in inimical sign with an enemy. So the 8th lord is also not well placed. Are there any other? These are the only indications. So what we can say is that during this one other thing, let us look at the Tithi Ashtotari Dasha. And the event, as I said, it took place before May 15th. And what was the Dasha that was running during that period? Tithi Ashtotari Dasha of D9, and it is Venus. What is Venus? Venus is the 8th lord, not a very good lord. He is the 3rd and the 8th lord, afflicting the 5th house from the spouse's Lagna. So 8th lord's agenda is some kind of shock. Something shocking might have happened. Now let us see if there is any other conditional dasha that is applicable to this Navamsha chart to see the results in particular. Mars is a strong planet. When Mars is a strong planet and Rahu is placed in a quadrant or the trine from Lagna Lord, then Ashtotari Dasha is applicable. So I go to Ashtotari Dasha here of D9 and May. That period is what? It is Saturn period. Now Saturn is what? Saturn is the 11th and the 12th lord for this chart. So Saturn period, there is I do not see any indications from this except for the fact that Saturn aspects this combination, Jupiter Mercury combination, because Jupiter is the Lagna lord, Mercury is the Badhaka lord, and Saturn is the 12th lord of imprisonment, 12th lord of hospitalization in Navamsha chart. He is aspecting Jupiter and Mercury. Let us quickly take a look at the percentage aspect. Saturn's aspect is on Jupiter. On Jupiter it is 90. So Saturn is aspecting the Lagna Lord, and the aspect on Mercury is not that much, it is just 59%. Whenever we are looking at aspects, it's very important to look at the Bhava chart, because prima facie it might appear as though there is a 7th house aspect, or there is a 5th house, or a 9th house, or a 3rd house, or a 10th house aspect on a planet for Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, etc. But the aspects may not be 100%, because the cusp of the Lagna is at different positions in each chart. So I always, my Guruji PVR Narasimha Rao sir, he always suggests that we look at the percentage of aspect rather than the houses. So as you see here, Saturn has given this result. Saturn, who is the 12th lord, he is a bad lord, 12th lord, 11th and 12th lord, even though 11th lord is the lord of gains, being the lord of 12th house, he has that blemish of being the trick lord. He is aspecting the Lagna lord. So something bad, something related to phase, something related to disease, something sudden might have happened. These are the only things that we can derive using the data that we have. If had I learnt how to analyze the Shashtamsha chart, that is the D6. D6 is the chart of diseases. Maybe I could have narrowed down my results further, but I still do not have hands-on experience of analyzing D6 as of yet. And another thing that I have not done in this chart analysis is analyzing transit. Just because I still haven't learned how to analyze transit to this extent. So I will reserve that for a future video, or you as a viewer are welcome to do it. Look at the transit of this particular period. Please approach me for the birth data. I will privately send you the birth data if you want to analyze the transit. Yeah. So what was the dasha that we picked? It was Chaturashiti Samadasha of quick reset is required. And click on the natal chart. Chaturashiti Samadasha, Saturn, and it was May. Saturn, Sun and Jupiter. So had this native come to us a few months before, or a few years before, few years before this period, we could have cautioned the native, saying that something unfavorable is possible during this period for your spouse. Take care. Or we could have suggested some remedies. I have not delved into what remedy could have been suggested, because I'm still in a learning phase and I do not know how to suggest remedies as of yet. But in future videos, as and when I learn, I will keep adding my learning to my videos. Any questions regarding today's analysis, please post them in the comment box. I have used innumerable tools here. It might be confusing for you as a viewer, but if you're a follower of the Boston classes, you will find it very interesting to follow my videos. And many astrologers think or say that it is sufficient for us to use just the Rashi chart and just the Vimshottari chart, Vimshottari Dasha. But by sticking to basics such as Rashi and Vimshottari, we may not be able to arrive at accurate results. But instead, if we make use of all tools that have been given to us by the rishis, by Maharshi Parashara, then our analysis is going to be very, very accurate. These are not my words, these are the words of my Guruji PVR Narasimha Rao sir. As for the technicalities that have been discussed in the video, I will put up all the links in the description box. So in case you're interested to learn them, you can just click on those links and learn them. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you watching my videos. Please put your comments in the comment section and let us learn together. Thank you.